Nice to meet you. I'm Khatar Shuktai and you're watching my YouTube channel School of Advanced Chemistry. Today I'm going to explain Cambridge O-Level Chemistry Paper 1 multiple choice question May June 2022 1 variant that is having 1 hour duration. Let's talk about it. Here are typical instructions, 40 questions in this paper, answer all the question. Each question, there are 4 possible options A, B, C and D. Choose one of the correct option and so on. Information, the total mark for this paper is equal to 40. Each correct answer will be scored 1 mark. Any rough working should be done on this question paper. The product table is printed on this question paper. So let's jump towards question number 1. Question number 1. A scientist needs to add approximately 100 centimeter cube of water to each of 50 large beakers. The scientist needs to fill beaker as quickly as possible. The first requirement is we are going to add approximate volume of 100 centimeter cube. The second one thing is we are supposed to add as quickly as possible. Which 4 methods should be used? A, B, C and D. A 50 centimeter cube burette should be used twice. यहाँ पर हम 2 दफ़ा इसको यूज़ करने जा रहे हैं तो twice I mean. In second option 100 centimeter cube gas syringe should be used once. एक दफ़ा सिर्फ यूज़ करने जा रहे हैं gas syringe को. In C 25 centimeter cube graduated pipette should be used 4 times. जहाँ पर 4 दफ़ा हम यूज़ करने जा रहे हैं इसको graduated pipette को. D 100 centimeter cube measuring cylinder used to be once for each beaker. एक दफ़ा हम यहाँ पर measuring cylinder को use कर रहे हैं. So we are supposed to add roughly, approximately. This measuring cylinder is used for the rough measurement. कहीं पर भी अगर हमने कोई liquid roughly add करना है, approximate add करना है, then that is the best choice. And moreover, I mean, I'm going to shortlist 2 options. B may be the correct option and D may be the correct option because here we are using once. I mean, for the quick possible insertion of the liquid. So या तो B ठीक है या D ठीक है और इन दोनों में basically gas syringe is basically used for the measurement of the gases. Secondly, if we are using for the liquid तो ये टाइम ज़्यादा गेन करेगी. इसको इवैक्यूएट होने के लिए लिक्विड को बाहर फेंकने के लिए ज़्यादा टाइम लगेगा तो ये एज क्विकली एज पॉसिबल नहीं है. सो वंस अगेन द ऑप्शन डी इज़ द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. मेन तमाम जो फैक्टर्स हैं दे आर पॉइंटिंग टूवर्ड्स द मोस्ट appropriate option is the D1. Question number 2, 4 mixtures each containing 2 substances are shown in the table. The 2 substances need to be separated and collected. Which row is correct? Mixture, here is the mixture in this column and separation method in this column. Option A, copper 2 sulfate and water. That is a soluble sulfate and here is the liquid water, I mean solvent water. The method is chromatography. Answer is no. Chromatography is the basic technique that is used to separate the compound on behalf of different colors, on behalf of different solubility. So different color compounds can be separated. As you know, water is a non-colored substance. So this mixture cannot be separated. Option B, methanol and ethanol. Both belong to the same family, same functional group. And method is evaporation. Again, the answer is incorrect. Option is incorrect. Because they both will be evaporated on heating, nothing is left behind, so they cannot be separated. They cannot be distinguished. They cannot be separated in this way by the mean of evaporation. Option C, oxygen and nitrogen with the help of fractional distillation. Yes, it is true because you have seen that in liquid air, we are having nitrogen, oxygen and nitrogen gases. So the liquid mixture of the air that is having oxygen and nitrogen can be separated by fractional distillation. Yes, it is true. Oxygen and nitrogen are separated by fractional distillation. It's a fact, it's a true, so C is the correct option. However, let me check the D option. Sand and the barium sulfate, the method is filtration. No. Basically, sand is water insoluble. It is a solid, and barium sulfate is also water insoluble. So, no one can be filtered out. I mean, these two substances, the mixture of these two substances, cannot be separated by filtration. Again, it is confirmed that C is the correct option. Question number 3, two samples of the color solution are tested separately with aqueous solution, with aqueous sodium hydroxide and aqueous ammonia NH3, and results are recorded. Number 1, a white precipitate is formed when two drop mean few drops, when few drops of NaOH is added. This precipitate dissolves in excess of NaOH. So it may be zinc 2 positive ion. There may be the possibility of aluminium 3 positive ion, and so on, etc. You can say. White precipitate is formed again by the two drop of NH3 aqueous. अगर हम NH3 aqueous ऐड करने जा रहे हैं तो again same precipitates बन रहे हैं, white precipitate, and this precipitate dissolves in excess ammonia. Again excess ammonia में dissolve हो रहा है. Here, as far as the O-level chemistry syllabus is concerned, there is only one option, that is the zinc one. So basically the common positive ion, common metal ion that is soluble in both excess, both mean sodium hydroxide and NaOH, that is zinc 2 positive ion. What can be deduced from these results? So zinc 2 positive ion, very quickly D is the correct option. This cation is zinc 2 positive ion. Question number 4, which row correctly describe change in the particles when substance freezes? So what is the freezing basically? When liquid is cooled down and it's changed its state into the solid state. For example, when water is freezed and it change into the ice state. Arrangement of the particle, definitely they becomes more ordered. So either A or B may be the correct option. Energy change in the particles when the liquid is going to become solid. So energy is lost by the particle and they are going to be in low energy state. So particle lose energy, they become more ordered, and B is the correct option. Question number 5, ethyl amine C2H5NH2 and the hydrogen chloride HCl react together to form a white solid ethylamine hydrochloride. At which position in the tube would a ring of the solid white ethylamine hydrochloride form? Basically, examiner is asking which position you can say this compound is supposed to be formed. The basic thing is you can say I am going to find the mass of these two compounds, the mass of HCl vapors. This cotton wool is basically releasing the vapors of HCl and its mass is 36.5. The mass of ethylene amine, I mean C2H5NH2, C2H5 mass is 29 and plus nitrogen 14 plus 2 for hydrogen. So the total mass is 45. So which one is having the more mass? The mass of ethyl amine is greater, is higher. So the basic thing, the first point is, पहली जो important बात है वो ये है कि इस ट्यूब को अगर मैं दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड कर देता हूँ, let's suppose I am going to cut this tube into two parts. Let's suppose almost this B is at the middle line. तो कौन सी गैस ऐसी है जो सबसे पहले इस B line को क्रॉस करेगी? Which one gas is supposed to cross this line first? Definitely that is having lower mass. So HCl will cross this line first as compared to the gas that is ethylamine. So the next most possible option is A. The next most possible option is A. They are supposed to meet at A. So A is the correct option. Question number 6. Two particles have the symbol iron 2 positive, cobalt 3 positive. Which statement about these particles is correct? A, B, C, D. They contain same number of electrons, neutron, protons, proton, neutron, and electrons. So I'm going to find electron, proton, and neutron for each two particles. So in this case, in iron 2 positive. Basically, P is equal to 26. E is equal to 2 electron. Chhod gaye hain, loss. There is a loss of 2 electron. So that is 24 basically. And the neutron is equal to 54 minus 26. In case of cobalt, P is equal to 27, E is equal to 27 minus 324, and neutron is equal to 59 minus 27. Now come toward the options. They contain the same number of electrons. Yes, it is true. Both are having same electrons, 24, 24. So the first one option is correct option, is the correct option. However, let me check the other options. They contain same number of neutrons. No, here the number of neutron in this case that is equal to 28, right? And in this case, the number of electron is equal to 32. So number of neutrons are not equal, and so it is incorrect. They contain same number of proton. No, it's having 27. It is having 26. Again, it's incorrect. They do not contain same number of protons, neutron, or electron. They do not contain the number of protons, same number of protons, neutron, or electron. No, they are having same number of electrons. So once again, they are having same number of electron. It is the correct option. A is the correct option. Question number 7, two isotopes of the chlorine Cl35 and Cl37 are over here. Using these isotope, carbon 12 isotope and hydrogen 1 isotope, how many different relative molecular masses are possible for the compound with molecular formula C2H3Cl3? The basic shortcut is, if this question is asked again, the basic shortcut method is, the very shortcut method, the basic shortcut method you can say, that is, just see over here how many halogens are there. How many halogens are there? Only 3 halogens are there in whole compound. If Br or Cl, any one of them, any two of them, I mean, if the total Br plus Cl or any one of them, if they are present in the compound, then count their numbers and then plus add 1. So Cl is equal to 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So this compound, this compound C2H3Cl3 is having 4 different relative molecular masses. 4. The correct option, the shortcut, the shortest way is to find the answer is this one. So whenever any halogen is present in the compound and he is asking to find the total different relative molecular masses, simply count the number of halogens and add 1 into it. That is an answer, an option. Question number 8, which statement about the substance at room temperature and pressure is correct? W, this is an alloy. The X is an ionic compound, lithium chloride. Y is the diamond. And Z is ethanol. A, B, C, D, Y, W and X conduct electricity. W, yes, it can conduct electricity, but X in this state, that is a solid state, according to this picture, this diagram, it is a solid compound, so it cannot conduct electricity. W and Y are elements. W and Y. Y is the element. Yes, it is true. It's a carbon. What is it? W. W is a mixture of basically 2 elements. That is an alloy. So W is the mixture of 2 elements. Again, it's incorrect. They are not the pure elements. X and Z dissolve in water. X, lithium chloride is water soluble. Yes, it is true. And alcohol is also water soluble. Any organic compound, any covalent compound that is having OH group, it's water soluble. So yes, X and Z dissolve in water. Yes, it is true. So C is the correct option. Let me check the D as well. Y and Z have the low melting point. Y is not having low melting point, so incorrect. Question number 9. A piece of magnesium reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid. The resulting solution is then evaporated, leaving a solid residue of the magnesium chloride. Which statement is correct? Magnesium plus 2 mole of HCl goes to HCl aqueous, and keep in your mind this HCl is having H positive ion and Cl negative ion. HCl aqueous is not a covalent compound. HCl gas is a covalent compound, but HCl aqueous hydrochloric acid is said to be the ionic one. And now it's supposed to give MgCl2, an ionic compound, plus hydrogen gas is given off. Now come towards the option which statement is correct. A covalent solid is formed in this process. The second one, each chlorine atom gains one electron in this process. Each magnesium atom loses only one electron in this process. Molecule of an element are formed during the reaction. Number one, covalent solid is formed. No, it's correct. Incorrect, This is an ionic compound. Each chlorine atom gains one electron in this process. No, it is initially Cl negative ion and still it is Cl negative ion. Initially, in case of HCl, is negative ion, Cl negative ion. In case of MgCl2, once again it is negative ion, so there is no change, there is no loss or gain of electron by the Cl. Each magnesium atom loses only one electron in this process. Magnesium is having basically 2 electrons in its last shell, and in this case you can see that it's making +2 charge, so no, it's losing 2 electrons, not 1 electron. So only one left. D is the correct option. Basically this hydrogen is formed, that is the molecule of an element. Hydrogen is formed. D is the correct option. Question number 10, which dot and cross diagram represents carbon dioxide? कार्बन, डबल बॉन्ड, ऑक्सीजन, सबसे पहले मैं ड्रा कर रहा हूं एक लीवर स्ट्रक्चर. कार्बन के बाहर 4 बॉन्ड, ऑक्सीजन के बाहर 2 बॉन्ड. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू चेंज दिस स्ट्रक्चर इनटू डॉट एंड क्रॉस डायग्राम, जैसा कि मेरे पिछले लेक्चर्स में और मेरी बुक में गिवन है, तो मैं सेम वही स्टाइल यहाँ पे अप्लाई करने जा रहा हूँ. कार्बन को मैं क्रॉस दे रहा हूँ, तो कार्बन की साइड से 4 क्रॉस लगा रहा हूँ. कार्बन इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड दीज इलेक्ट्रॉन आर एग्जिबिटेड बाय द क्रॉस. ऑक्सीजन वाली साइड से मैं लगा रहा हूं डॉट्स. ईच ऑक्सीजन इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग 2 electrons. नाउ द नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट फेज यू कैन से राइट द रेस्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑन ऑक्सीजन. तो ऑक्सीजन ने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन कंट्रीब्यूट किए हैं. ऑक्सीजन बिलोंग्स टू ग्रुप नंबर 6. टोटल 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन थे, तो 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अभी इसने कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं किए. दीज आर कॉल्ड लोन पेयर. Same is the case on the other oxygen. 4 electrons are left behind. They are not contributing themselves into the bonding. तो इनको भी lone pair कहते हैं. The next thing is just remove the bonds from, remove these lines from this one. This structure. आप इन lines को हटा दें. And now you are having dot and cross diagram. तो आपके पास ये डॉट एंड क्रॉस डायग्राम बन गई है. सो दिस इज द डॉट एंड क्रॉस डायग्राम. मैं इसको दोबारा लिख रहा हूं यहाँ पे. कार्बन डॉट क्रॉस, अगेन डॉट क्रॉस, आप इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं. ऑक्सीजन 2 पेयर्स, 2 लोन पेयर्स. डॉट क्रॉस और क्रॉस डॉट, and oxygen 2 lone pairs over here. So this is the basic appropriate dot and cross diagram of the carbon. Let me check which option is the correct option. So carbon is having 4 pairs in its last shell overall. Dot cross, dot cross, dot cross, dot cross. 4 pairs, not correct, incorrect, 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 and there is left one option. Yes, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs, and each oxygen is having 2 lone pairs. 2 lone pairs, yes, it is true. So C is the correct option. Question number 11, 2 statements about the structure and the properties of the metal are given. Statement 1, metals are malleable and have high melting point. Yes, it is true. Metals have mobile electron in their structures. Yes, it is true. What is the correct one? A, both statements are correct, and statement 2 explains statement 1. Statement both are correct. Yes, it is true. But statement 2 doesn't explain the statement 1. So the second portion of this number 1 statement, this portion is wrong. B option, both statements are correct, but the statement 2 does not explain. Yes, it is true. The statement 2 has no relevancy with the statement 1, so B is the correct option. In CD, he is saying statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect, and statement 2 is correct, 1 is incorrect. Again, these two are incorrect. Option B is the correct one. Question number 12, how many different elements are present in ammonium nitrate? This is the formula of ammonium nitrate, NH4NO3. बहुत ही आसान और बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है ये. Nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen. So basically, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen, 3 type of elements are present over here. B is the correct option. Question number 13, aqueous calcium hydroxide is an alkali. It is neutralized by the dilute nitric acid to produce calcium nitrate and water. What is the ionic equation? जब भी कोई अल्कली और एसिड का रिएक्शन हो, जब भी, whenever you are supposed to write the equation for acid and alkali, then the ionic equation is quite similar, same every time. H positive ion plus OH negative ion aqueous goes to H2O liquid. This is the common ionic equation for all type of acid alkali reaction, and here it is. D is the correct option. Question number 14, the relative molecular mass MR of the liquid Z is 60. Z contain 40% carbon, 6.7% hydrogen, and 53.3% oxygen. So I'm going to make the empirical formula and molecular formula. First of all, carbon, that is 40, ratio hydrogen 6.7, ratio oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and that is 53.50. Oxygen 53.3. Carbon's percentage is divided by its AR 12. Hydrogen's AR is equal to 1, and the AR of oxygen is equal to 16. So let me calculate the first one. 40 divided by 12, the answer is 3.33, and this is the similar, same answer will be over here. What about oxygen? Basically 53.3 divided by 16, and answer is again 3.33. So this is the smallest answer. मैं इसको डिवाइड कर रहा हूँ तमाम वैल्यूज पर to gain the simplest answer. So 1:2:1. 1:2:1. The empirical formula is C2H2O. Either A or B may be the correct option. Now what is the empirical formula mass? CH2O, 12 plus 2 hydrogen plus 16. Overall the mass is equal to 30. So I'm going to find the value of N. N is equal to what? N is equal to MR. N is equal to MR divided by empirical formula mass. So the MR is equal to 60, and 60 divided by 30, that is equal to 2. So basically this 2 is the number that will be multiplied with these subscript, with these element. So the empirical formula was CH2O. Its molecular formula will be 242, C2H4O2, this one. So B is the correct option. B is the correct option. Question number 15. How many tons of aluminium oxide, Al2O3, are required to produce 27 tons of aluminium? And here are 4 options. What is required? How many tons of aluminium oxide? जो चीज़ आपको मालूम करनी है उसको आपने राइट साइड पर लिखना है. Al2O3 is required. So keep it on the right hand side. Given क्या है? Given है aluminium. So what is the mass of aluminium in this Al2O3? कितना aluminium है यहाँ पर? Al2, right? Al2 over here. So the first of all, I'm going to find the masses from this data. Al2 का mass क्या होगा? That is, 27 over 27 into 2. 27 into 2, 54 gram. 54 gram, and what is the mass of MR of this Al2O3 complete? 54 plus 48. And the mass is equal to 102. So 54 gram is equal to 102 gram. 102 gram of this Al2O3, right? And if we are supposed to find 27 gram aluminium, then the answer will be 102 over 54 multiplied by 27. And this will be equal to 51. मैंने टन्स को ग्राम्स को टन्स में चेंज नहीं किया, मैंने यहाँ पर ग्राम्स लिए हैं. जो ग्राम की रेशो आएगी, जो ग्राम की जो कंपैरेटिव वैल्यूज आएंगी वही टन्स की होंगी, तो आपको टन्स में कन्वर्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. नो नीड टू टर्न इनटू ग्राम्स और ग्राम्स इनटू टन. सिंपली फाइंड द आंसर एंड टिक योर आंसर. बी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. Question number 16, lead 2 bromide is electrolyzed using inert electrode. Molten lead 2 bromide को हम electrolyze कर रहे हैं. I mean this mixture is having Pb2 positive and Br1 negative. So, or you can say the 2 mole of Br1 negative is lying over here. Where statement is correct, a brown gas is seen at positive terminal. First of all, yes, you can see that Br negative ion that is moving towards the positive terminal. So here you can see the brown fumes of Br2. Whenever the Br2 is going to discharge itself, it will change itself into Br2, that is the gas one. So the first one is the correct one. Obviously, other will be the incorrect. Electron passes through the solution from one electrode to the other. No, they passes through the solution from electrolyte. The next one is basically ion passes through the circuit from one electrode to the other electrode. Ions are not passing through. I mean there is no passage of the ions from one electrode to the other electrode. The next one is the lead ions are oxidized. Lead ion जब भी होगा ये electron gain करेंगे, and after gain of electrons they will change themselves into lead solid. So once again it is confirmed that A is the correct option. Question number 17. The compound X is sodium iodide, NaI. Compound Y is methyl methanoate, this one. At room temperature and pressure, one solid in aqueous solution, two electricity. I mean conduct electricity into conduct, and both X and Y, which one is solid? First of all, you can see that the sodium iodide is an ionic compound. All ionic compounds are, yes, water soluble. Ionic compounds are water soluble. In the second case, compound X is iodide, and at room temperature, basically at room temperature and pressure, sodium iodide is a compound that is an ionic compound, and it is solid at room temperature. And this methyl methanoate, it is the liquid at room temperature basically. And the second one thing is, in aqueous solution, it's not going to conduct electricity. Only this NaCl, as it is water soluble, it is supposed to conduct electricity. So in second column, first of all, I'm going to see the second column. In second column, only X compound conduct electricity. Only X compound conduct electricity. Now, which one is the solid at room temperature? You know, har dafa, I mean, it is true for the ionic compound that they are definitely solid at room temperature. So X only, and 17D is the correct option. Question number 18. For the forward reaction of a reversible reaction, the enthalpy change of solution is minus 50 kilojoules. Mean it's an exothermic reaction. The activation energy EA is plus 60 kilojoules. What is the activation energy for the reverse reaction? So I'm going to draw a hypothetical diagram. You can say here are reactants, energy of activation, then it's going to make basically, and here are the products, reactants and the product, and here there is the energy of activation, and this portion basically, this energy gap is said to be delta H of the reaction. So the energy of activation is equal to plus 60, delta is equal to 50 basically. Minus mean energy is given out. Overall, the gap between, from this product to this height, that is equal to, almost equal to, 60 plus 50, 110. So whenever you are going to reverse the reaction, now these are the reactants and here are the products. So when we are moving back, so energy required to reach this height of the curve, that is equal to 110. So basically 18D is the correct option. D is the correct option. So the reverse energy basically कोई भी reaction हो, exo हो या endo हो, तो उसका delta H का आंसर चेंज नहीं होता, सिर्फ सिंबल चेंज होता है. In this case, the forward reaction is having plus minus 50 kilojoules per mole. Forward reaction की enthalpy है. The enthalpy change of the reverse will be equal to plus 50. But energy of activation changes. If the energy of activation for the forward reaction is less, is smaller one, if energy of activation for the forward reaction is 60, then the reverse reaction energy of activation for the reverse reaction may be changed. It will be changed. It may be more than 60, it may be less than 60, but it will not be equal to 60. So basically, whenever we are going to reverse, then these line or this line is going to behave as a reactant. तो reactant को इस हम तक पहुंचने के लिए कितनी एनर्जी चाहिए? 50 ये भी चाहिए, 60 ये भी चाहिए, 50 plus 60 दोनों चाहिए, and then it's going to move over here at activated state, at activated complex. The best answer is 110, and D is the correct option or the correct answer. Question number 19, diagram shows a titration experiment. Dilute acid is kept in burette and aqueous alkali is kept in the flask. Which row about the reaction in conical flask is correct? Reaction is basically exothermic. All neutralization reactions are exothermic. So either C may be the correct one and D may be the correct one. Delta H is, agar ye exothermic hai, then definitely the delta H will be equal to negative. So C is the correct option. Question number 20, sulfur dioxide react with oxygen in air, and it's making sulfur dioxide plus oxygen goes to 2 mole of sulfur dioxide. Delta H is equal to minus 196 kilojoules per mole. The reaction is very slow if no catalyst is present. Which statement explain this one? A, B, C, D. Air contain only 21% oxygen, so there is not enough oxygen for the all sulfur dioxide to react. No. 21% oxygen when there is a plentiful supply of air. There is no deficiency of 21% oxygen. 21% oxygen is enough to react with SO2 to make the complete oxidation. So it's wrong. Only small portion of the sulfur dioxide and oxygen molecule have enough energy to react even at high temperature. Yes, it is true. The basic reason is why it is very slow. Reaction fast क्यों नहीं है? Reaction slow है. So basic relevancy of this question is with the rate of reaction. Speed के बारे में वो आपसे पूछ रहा है कि अगर हम कैटलिस्ट ऐड नहीं करते हैं तो आपने ये बताना है कि रिएक्शन स्लो क्यों है. तो रिएक्शन स्लो क्यों है बेसिकली कि मोस्टली जो मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं उनके पास इतनी एनर्जी ही नहीं है कि वो एनर्जी ऑफ एक्टिवेशन के बैरियर को क्रॉस कर सकें. इवन एट हाई टेम्परेचर there is no sufficient population of the molecule, those are having much energy. So B is the correct option. However, let me check the C and D option as well. The reaction is exothermic. So high temperature equilibrium shift towards left. No, this question has not, the relevancy, or it's not dealing with the equilibrium shifting. This question is about the rate of reaction. This question is not about the yield, so C is incorrect. The next one, the last one, reaction is reversible and so product turn back. Again, it's reversible. Equilibrium cannot be shifted. This question is not about the equilibrium shifting. And once again, it is confirmed that B is the correct option. Question number 21, which statement is correct? An enzyme is biological catalyst that decreases the energy of activation. Yes, it is true. An enzyme is a biological catalyst that is supposed to decrease the energy of reaction, decrease the energy of activation of a reaction. So A is the correct option. However, let me check the other options. Enzyme is the biological catalyst. It is true that increases the energy of activation. No, it decreases. Enzyme is a compound of the transition metal. No, that decreases the energy of activation. Enzyme is the compound of the transition metal. No. So again, it is confirmed that A is the correct option. Question number 22, nitrogen dioxide is a dark brown gas that decomposes as shown in the equation. The diagram shows a glass flask containing a mixture of three gases. Mixture is pale brown. So this is the dark brown, and here is the mixture of all these three gases. NO is the colorless, and so on. And initially, the mixture is pale brown. More oxygen is forced into the flask. If more oxygen is added into the flask, then basically, indirectly, we are going to increase the concentration of oxygen. Then equilibrium will be shifted to other side. If the concentration of oxygen is increased, equilibrium will be shifted towards the left hand side. So it will become more darker, more dark brown or more darker. Which color change is seen in the mixture? It becomes darker brown. Yes, it is correct. Pale brown, no. Colorless, no. No change. Again, no. A is the correct option. This question is about basically the shifting of equilibrium. Question number 23. Concentrated hydrochloric acid is oxidized by manganese oxide, MnO2. What are the two products of this reaction? Number one, HCl, H positive ion, and Cl negative ion are allowed to react with this MnO2 to make the different compounds. This MnO2 is basically going to oxidize, and HCl is oxidized by. If HCl is oxidized, then simply it means the Cl negative ion will change into Cl2. So this is the oxidation. And if Cl negative ion is going to oxidize, what will happen to this oxidizing agent? Definitely it will reduce itself. Initially, MnO2 is having -4 for oxygen. To make the sum equal to 0, you have to put +4 over here. So initially, Mn oxidation number is +4. The next Mn oxidation state must be less than +4. So now come toward the option. Finally, there must be Cl2, and the oxidation number must be less than +4. Less than +4, here it is, and B is the correct option. B is the correct option. Question number 24, the table gives some information about the 4 redox reactions. Which row gives correct information about what is oxidized and the evidence that is oxidation? A, B, C, and D. 4 options, 4 equations. What is to be oxidized and in the reaction, and what is the evidence for oxidation? The first thing is in the equation 1, option A, copper oxide plus carbon goes to carbon monoxide copper. What about copper? Copper is having oxygen, and now it is not having oxygen. There is a loss of oxygen by the copper. So it is not oxidized, it has been reduced. So 1 is incorrect option. In second case, sodium plus Cl2 goes to NaCl. Sodium is equal to 0 oxidation number. Cl2 is having also 0 number. In case of NaCl, +1, and here is the -1. So the sodium is basically going to oxidize. Yes, sodium is getting one positive charge over here from zero, so it is going to be oxidized. Yeah, this is true. And how is going to oxidize? Sodium has lost an electron. Yes, sodium has changed from 0 to +1, so it is true. And B is the correct option. However, let me check the option C and D. Nitrogen 0, hydrogen 0, oxygen state. What about the nitrogen and hydrogen? Especially with nitrogen, what is happening with nitrogen? That is having +3 for hydrogen, -3 for nitrogen. So nitrogen is going to reduce, not the oxidize. So it's incorrect. The last one, in which the magnesium is going to react with zinc nitrate, and magnesium is equal to 0. Zinc nitrate, zinc is having two positive charge over here. And finally, this zinc is having 0, I mean oxidation state. Initially, zinc is having two positive charge or two positive oxidation state, one and the same thing. And 2 is changing +2 to 0, that is called reduction, not oxidation. So it is confirmed that B is the correct option. Which statement about the acid and bases is correct? All strong acid react with the carbonate, but weak alkali do not. No, it's wrong. Basically, all type of acids, weak and strong, all react. All acid, weak acid as well as strong acid, both react with the carbonate. So it's wrong. The oxide of group 1 metal are amphoteric. No, the oxide of group 1 are basic. See, the pH of 1 mole per dm cube ethanoic acid is higher than the pH of 1 mole per dm cube of sulfuric acid. Basically, the weaker acid is having higher pH. Weaker acid is equal to higher pH. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. So C is the correct option. Let me check the D1. 1 mole per dm cube nitric acid is lower pH than the 1 mole per dm cube of HCl. No, they are both are having almost same pH, so it's incorrect. Question number 26. Some type of chemical reactions are listed. Acid base, combustion, redox. Which type of reaction occur in blast furnace during the extraction of metal? Yes, there is an acid-base reaction when the calcium oxide is allowed to react with silicon dioxide, goes to calcium silicate. And combustion, carbon is allowed to react with oxygen to make CO2, that is combustion. Redox is the reaction in which iron is going to react with carbon or with the carbon monoxide to make pure iron. Fe2O3 is allowed to react with carbon or carbon monoxide to make pure iron. So 1 and 2 and 3 all are the correct options. All are the correct option. Question number 27. Which method should be used to make the pure sample of potassium chloride? Potassium chloride is a soluble salt, and we can use the titration method. I mean, we can use an acid and alkali method to prepare this potassium chloride. So titration method, titrating KOH with HCl, yes, it is true. So all other options are incorrect option. First of all, you will have to see कि हम कौन सा जो है वो सॉल्ट बनाने जा रहे हैं, क्या वो पानी में soluble है या पानी में insoluble है. If the compound is water soluble, the best method is titration method. So D is the correct option. D is the correct option. Come towards question number 28. A pure sample of the lead sulfate is made by reacting aqueous solution of 2 salt. The lead sulfate form is then separated from the mixture. Which solutions and the method of separation are used? I mean, we are supposed to make lead 2 sulfate, that is an insoluble salt. So we are going to do filtration. Finally, method of separation. And we need two compounds, both should be soluble. So one should be the lead compound, that must be the soluble. Lead nitrate is soluble, lead nitrate is soluble. And the next compound that is having SO4 negative ion sulfate, it should also be soluble. Group 1 sulfate are water soluble. So D is the correct option. Which statement is correct? Food can be preserved by using sulfur dioxide. Yes, sulfur dioxide can be used as a food preservative. B, in contact process, oxygen reacts with sulfur to make sulfur trioxide. No, it reacts to make sulfur dioxide, not the trioxide. Sulfur dioxide is used to kill bacteria present in the wood pulp. No, it is used to bleach the wood pulp. Sulfuric acid is used as a bleach. No, A is the confirmed correct option. Question number 30, element Y in period 3 of the periodic table, it forms chloride that is liquid at room temperature. Which row shows the correct information about the group number and the nature of the oxide of element Y? Y in the period 3 of the product table, it forms a chloride that is a liquid. The basic main hint clue is this one, that is a liquid at room temperature and it belongs to period 3 element and it's making chloride. I mean, it may be aluminium chloride, it may be MgCl2, magnesium chloride, phosphorus chloride, and so on. But you know that if the options, basically the options are group 1, group 2, group 4, and group 6. Group 1 chlorides are solid at room temperature. They are solid, they are not liquids. Group 2 chlorides are also ionic compounds, so they are also solid at room temperature. They are not liquid at room temperature. Group 4 chlorides may be the liquid, I mean SiCl4, it may be the liquid, and group 5 chloride, group 6 chlorides, I mean it may be the PCl3, and yes, they may be the liquid at room temperature. Now come toward the next column, SiO2, oxide of the silicon is amphoteric, or the oxide of P2O4 is acidic. So SiO2 is acidic. It's not amphoteric. P2O4, P2O5, the oxide of phosphorus, non-metallic oxide, is acidic. Yes, it is true. So basically, D is the correct option. Overall, D is the correct option. Question number 31, which gases are used in light bulb? Number 1, argon, yes. Oxygen, no. Neon, maybe, because these two are inert gases, so they can be used for the generation of inert atmosphere. So 1 and 3, C is the correct option. Question number 32. The carbonate of the metal W, X, and Y are heated and result are shown over here. The color of metal carbonate, white, green, white. So this X is having transition metal, and green carbonate is basically copper carbonate as far as the O-level chemistry syllabus is concerned. Given of the gas that is turning lime water cloudy, yes, I mean there is the expulsion of CO2. So yes, so they both are basically carbonate, and they are less stable carbonate basically. And then last one, the Y is not going to give CO2. So it means that this is the member of group 1 element. White carbonate that is not going to decompose, so it means that that is having high reactivity or highly reactive, or it may be the part of group 1 element. Come to the last one, yellow when hot and when white when cold. This is the first one. And the second one is going to show the black in color. I mean, that is going to make copper oxide. That is the black oxide. And this one is going to change, showing no change, no color. These experiment results can be used to write statement about W, X, and Y. Number 1, carbonate of W and X gives off carbon dioxide on heating. W and X both are giving CO2. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. The first one is true. Metal X and Y are less reactive than metal W. No, basically the Y is not less reactive. It is the most reactive metal, as its carbonate is not going to decompose. So the 2-1 is incorrect. X could be the copper. Yes, it is true. As I told you, the green carbonate in O-level chemistry, that is the copper carbonate. So yes, it is true. I mean 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. C is the correct option. C is the correct option. 33. Which diagram shows an experiment to determine the percentage of oxygen in air, and which diagram shows the correct level of water after the candle stop burning? I mean, there is 21% oxygen, and this candle will burn this oxygen, and the level of the water will rise in the tube. So the rise level should be up to 21%. There is decline in level, there is same level, there is rise in level, rise, but that is very much high rise. So again, almost this is the rise. This rises almost 20% of this total tube. So C is the correct option. Question number 34, two statements are given. Statement 1, the percentage of the carbon by mass is greater in methane than butane. So how to find the percentage of mass of carbon by mass? Basically methane, CH4. Its mass of carbon is equal to 12. The total mass is equal to 16. Butane, that is C4H10, and its mass is 48 mass of carbon divided by its MR. I mean 58 is the MR. So multiply by 100 in first case, multiply by 100 in second case. So let me check the overall answer. So the answer is 75% in this case. And what about the butane? And the answer is 82. 82%. So the percentage of the carbon by mass is greater in methane? No. Statement 1 is incorrect. Butane is one of the two isomers with molecular formula C4H10. Butane is one of the two isomers. Yes, it could be. Basically, the isomers of the butane, here are these two isomers, that is called normal butane. CH3, CH2, CH2, and CH3. The next isomer is CH3, CH3, CH, CH2, and CH3. So butane is one of the two isomers. The possible isomers are over here. One is called butane, other one is called 2-methyl propane. 2-methyl propane. So statement 2 is correct only. So C is the correct option. Question number 35. 1 mole of each compound shown is completely combust. How many of the compounds need exactly 9 mole of oxygen for the complete combustion? So you will have to write the equation turn by turn. C5H12O plus O2 goes to 5 mole of CO2 and 6 mole of H2O over here. 5 2s are 10 plus 6, that is equal to 16 minus 1, that is equal to uh, 15. So 15 by 2 oxygen, that is not equal to the 9 mole. So not this one. What about this one? C6H12 plus O2. So the 6 mole of CO2 and 6 mole of H2O. And C6 to the 12 plus 6, 18, yes, 9 mole of O2. So it is requiring the 9 mole exactly oxygen. What about C6H14? C6H14 plus O2 goes to, that is 6 mole of CO2 and 7 mole of H2O. And 6 2s are 12 plus 7, that is equal to 19. So 19 by 2, not the 9. C6H14O, yes, it may be, because plus oxygen goes to 6 mole of CO2 plus 7 mole of H2O, and total mole is equal to 19. 19 minus 1, that is 18. So 9O2, yes, or 18 by 2, that is equal to 9. So yes, so two compounds are requiring exactly 9 mole of oxygen for the complete combustion. So B is the correct option. Question number 36, the reactant and the products are of two reactions are shown over here. C3H6 plus H2O goes to X and X plus oxygen goes to CO2 and H2O. So basically C3H6 is an alkene. When water is added, it is going to make alcohol. It's going to make alcohol, and alcohol, when it is oxidized, it is going to make CO2 and H2O. Which row correctly describes these two reactions? Identify the compound X. It is an alcohol and a 3 carbons alkene, 3 carbon alcohol, so it will be propanol, propanol. So either C or D may be the correct option. Condition for the reaction 1, you need heat and catalyst. Yes, you need heat and catalyst. Catalyst is H3PO4. The reaction 2 is basically combustion reaction, not the decomposition. So D is the correct option. Question number 37. The statement about the carboxylic acid is correct. All carboxylic acid includes group, this one. Yes, it is true. All carboxylic acids include this group. This is true, highly true, so no need to check the other options. The structure of an ester is shown over here. And what is the name of the structure? To give the name of the structure, I am going to cut this molecule into two halves from C single bond O in such a way that the both oxygen are lying on one side. So where there is no oxygen, this is coming from alcohol and 3 carbons are over here. Its name is written as with ending name of YL. I mean propyl. YL, I mean propyl, and here are 4 carbon atoms and its name will be butane plus OATE, butanoate. So propyl butanoate, C is the correct option. Question number 39. Polyethylene is formed by one polymerization of ethene that is said to be the addition polymerization. Addition polymerization. The formation of nylon and terylene are the example of condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization. Protein contains the same linkage as nylon, that is having amide. Amide is having same linkage as that of nylon. Fats contain the same linkage as that of terylene, ester linkage and ester linkage. On hydrolysis, proteins form amino acid. Just amino acids, not sugar, so A is the correct option. Question number 40, the last one. The repeat unit of the polymer is shown over here. Which monomer would produce this polymer? So I'm going to switch this bond back. So basically, if this bond is shifted or just is broken down and just we are having this molecule back. So this bond is going to shift as a double bond and this bond is broken down. So we are having this monomer CH3CH and CH3CH and ClCbr. A is the correct option. That's all about today. That's all about this paper. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon and share it with your friend. Thank you.